Hi, hello, happy Sabbath, and Shabbat Shalom. Didn't get a lot of topics covered, so it's not going to be a long report. What you're looking at is a bunch of horse mint that I picked there, and then a little bit over here. That is drying right now. Hopefully I'm doing better this year than last year, because a lot of what I picked last year sat and got brown and didn't do well. It wasn't stored properly and it wasn't dried properly. And in fact, if you look in here, this is a little brown here because I think it's pretty much just a case that it's being exposed somewhat to moisture instead of drying rapidly, and that'll potentially turn it brown. Although one group there might have different nutrient content because above it and below it's brighter green. I don't know that much about the process to know if it's decay or if it's what exactly, but most of this mint was picked off the property on the side of the road. Some reason or another this year we had this massive amount of mint grow on the road. This little batch right here, just that batch right there, was from this property, and then that batch was from this property, and then a couple of the others might have been, but a lot of this came from down the road from me, and it just showed up this year, and so it's like, hey, wow, that's amazing. I'll have to turn it. I would normally put it on the back of my truck bed, but since I was driving said truck, I couldn't really put it out there yet. But because of the fact that we got Mom's car back, we will be able to do that. In fact, the other thing back here behind the truck, other than where I put the mint to dry, of course you saw the plywood in the last Sabbath report from previous. These bags of all that came. I had a massive number of soda bottles stored in the back of the barn, and other bottles that were originally intended to become a project for a raft. And while the idea still sounds really cool to make a soda bottle raft, at this point I'm probably never going to do that. So I went and gave all the soda bottles to one of my friends that has a lot of milk to give away, and so she's busy trying to dry up her goats because they're making more milk than she can sell. And I kind of wish she had more buyers, because she really is a wonderful lady. She gives a lot of free services and medicine and help to people that it's just sad that there's just not enough demand for the fresh whole goat milk to sell it all. Either because people don't know about it, or they don't like goat's milk, or I don't know what. But anyhow, just an update on my avocados. I don't have any numerical change from the last weekend report. The same number are still technically alive, although this one looks kind of rough. My lemongrass seems to be dying. The pineapples still haven't been repotted, and therefore are looking just about as scrappy as they were last time. This one looks pretty happy. I don't know, it seems to be doing fine. I'd be careful not to accidentally count a ragweed as a avocado. They're obviously different plants. Now, I haven't been back here to the tomato plant since it rained the other night, so I don't know if it's rehydrated very much. Again, the critters got all the cherries, so there ain't none of them left this year. And, well, that's fine. I wasn't picking them anyhow. because I just wasn't set up for it. So yeah, it looks like the tomato plant is quite happy with the rain it got last night. A lot of the leaves are looking back fluffy and not curled up again. No new flowers, no new fruits, I mean, that I can tell at this moment. Oh no, there is. There's one right here. Sorry, one fruit right there. Unlike a lot of these people that have massive amounts of fruit on their plants, I don't. I hardly ever do. And of course there's new flowers, but not a lot of them. They say to prune these things, and well, again, I want to go and repot a bunch of these vines so that over the winter they'll grow into fully potable, they'll be potted. What am I trying to say? Independent sister plants. That's the plan anyway. That's the idea. Whether it comes to that, we shall see. Since the main one's potted and in a place like it is, it can stay there until pretty cold weather, but once it gets starting cold weather, then I've got to do something or it's going to be a loss. Poor little Sugar over there, still not doing much better. Her coat's nice and clean. And I moved her steak over so she could get more fresh food, but she's not putting on any weight, so we don't know what all's going to happen with that. The peach tree, I trimmed it some, and because she had gotten too close to it and started pruning it herself, eating it, and so I had to clean it up some. And it's still growing, hasn't hurt it too much. Of course, off in the distance there's the Rose of Sharon still blooming. But yeah, the peach tree has grown taller than that fence again, and I don't even know how tall that fence is. It's only 3.5 or 4 feet or something. Not real big, but the thing is, it was nearly dead the other year and it's coming back from the bottom. I'm hopeful that it'll come out. The Russian Lespedeza is doing well in a few places. Waxweed's good. The mullein is doing good. Those weird sunflower plants up there, they look so dull and dingy in the afternoons, but they're just brilliant and glorious in the morning. Don't know what the deal is. They don't cast their petals or anything, they just look weak and wilty or powdery. The blister beetles got up here for a while. It came through here and they ate a bunch of stuff and then they disappeared. I don't know if they moved on or what. Over here, back to what I really did mostly this week. This little baby pen's almost finished. It's not totally finished. Hopefully tomorrow, or at least sometime this week, I should be able to finish it. I wanted to record the production of it, but because of the fact that I had to work at night when it's cool, couldn't get good lights on it. So we'll recap what I've got. This brace here, again, that's for the express purpose of making the fence vertical, since I wasn't going to pin to that crooked tree. Same up there at that corner, down here at this corner. Again, I have the fence wire on that board so that it's straight up and down. This is the same wire, it's just folded back so I don't have to cut it, so it still remains a longer piece of wire. What I did is I just took a pair of pliers and folded it around the rebar, and the rebar is tacked onto this bed frame with plumber strap and a screw. And then the door is some of that donated plywood from the H&R Block building remodel. That piece of panel there, partition wall, is also from that same remodel. I just took it out and stood it up on its own frame a little bit. And at the moment it's strapped to the tree because I haven't done anything to anchor it to the ground yet, but I will. I'll drill some holes, or I'll just use those holes that are already in it, and I'll anchor it with some rebar so that it stays in the ground without tying up one of my straps, pun intended, tying a strap. So this is an animal cage that I decided to convert instantaneously into a hay crib. Again, more secondhand plywood and some screws, and then it's kind of held in position. This piece of angle iron bolted across, screwed across here to this wooden frame that's helping stabilize everything. You see I shake this piece and all this stuff moves, so it works kind of in cooperation. And originally I pinned it to the fence that held it up long enough for me to put a leg under it to brace it, and it's put into the ground with some rebar on both sides. So it's pinned into the ground there. It won't sweep this way or that way. Then that keeps it from tipping over that way. And then so it's pretty much held. It wobbles. It's going to wobble a little bit, but it ain't going to come down. Now I have this grain thing I'm working on. I had that hopper, the funnel that I got from my friend, and I got this piece of steel from somewhere else up in Minnesota, and I welded a piece of rebar on it. And it's going to be a lid, and it'll sit over this thing. I'll cut exactly across here, and I'll brace it with some pre-cut pressure-treated timbers, and they'll make a square frame, a diagonal frame across here, and that'll hold the lid in place, keep it from flopping around. And I'll take a piece of sheet metal and make a cylinder to drop down in there so that when you pour grain in the top, it goes in and not all over the place. Then this piece, I've got some legs cut that are not immediately visible at the moment, I don't think. They're buried underneath some stuff in here that are off of some bed frames. That bed frame steel comes in real handy sometimes. Oh, I think I can reach it right here. Alright, yeah. So these bed frames with their adjustable feet, the feet came from that thing, but some of them, the bed frame, what I did is I just took a regular nut, welded it on the bed frame end, and then that will get screwed on like so. And there'll be a foot on all corners, and they'll be adjustable. That'll allow me to compensate for the slope of the ground. So there'll be all four of them, all four of these corners with feet on them, and these are adjustable to different depths to accommodate for land. And I just put all these tools in here because it rained last night, and I didn't want to get them rained. I was like, well, I'll leave my rain magnets out, but they're too valuable to let them get damaged, so I just hurried up and stuffed everything in that box. Now the idea, I'll have to put a panel of more fence up here, just a short piece, so that they can't climb up on here and jump over. Although I had thought about also, and I may still do it, is just put some uprights and run the fence wire around the top of it so they can't even get up on it. That's probably the better move, because I can just give me a short piece of fence wire, and that'll keep me. I can pin it to the trees, but I can also pin it to the box with the upright steel, and that'll guarantee that I have it where they can't climb on it and use it to go over the fence. Because I'm gonna have 4 boys in there that are as tall as that fence, and one of them I know already knows how to jump and climb. So, and I figure they all do technically anyhow. So. And then, of course, I've got that roll of chicken wire right there, and I'm going to roll that around the bottom over here because there's a gap there that they can crawl under, and then the two rows of holes in the bottom are close enough that they could probably just walk right through that, and if they can't, they can certainly try to and get stuck. So, yeah, basically all I'm doing there is, this is a temporary weaning pen till they're big enough to go in with the other boys. And when that happens, then this will sit empty for a while till I get a couple other boys that I need to wean and get in there. Again, I picked some of the mint, not all the mint. It's pretty much everything up here. And again, I got Mom's car back from my brother's place. We went over there yesterday and picked that up in the afternoon, just before it rained. And this coming week I'll probably go over there and help my brother bale hay again, and get some round bales, and that'll hopefully keep me for a few more months of keeping in hay and everything, because it's kind of one of the deals, helping my brother, and his hay quality is higher because the goats like to eat it more. Now I know this is a really short video compared to others. There's really not many updates to give. Everything else is pretty much the same. Same number of goats. They're all in the same locations at the moment. So really not much to say. So I'm going to say this is it. Till next Sabbath. See you then.